Hi everyone, welcome to a very special episode, a Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving Day episode with Holding Court and Listen, Sweetie.
Crossover,
Yay!
realness.
Super excited, and we haven't done this in a while actually.
No.
I'm really excited to do this again because it's always so much fun. We want to give a really special thank you to our people that produce this for us, White Rabbit Partners and GayLifeLA.com, because they're the ones that make the magic happen.
All of the magic.
All of it.
Love
and
you
then
all.
Special note for everyone that didn't see the announcement that went out today. Listen, Sweetie's officially on GayLifeLA.com now.
Do your happy dance.
We're like,
Do your happy
yes.
dance. Do the happy dance.
So you can go to GayLifeLA.com, and under GTV you can find Listen, Sweetie, and see his page down there. It's super cute. It's already got episodes up there, so you can check out some of his past episodes.
It already has a bunch of them
Right.
up there. You've been working like a rabbit to get them up there,
mad
actually.
dog, but it looks really cute. And if you also want to be a sponsor of either of ours, Eric's or mine, you have the information there, and you can see it on Eric's page as well, just under his bio information.
And I just shared, Mom, for you, for Mom asking, by the way, for the live feed.
Mom's been blowing up, going like, "Where are you guys? I can't do the New York accent.
Where are you? I can't see you anywhere live on Facebook."
We love you, Mom, always, and we're really always excited to have her as well. You're a number one.
She's
fan
like
and
the
our
number one fan. Yeah, and she's like one of your number one fans
She's
for your
amazing.
show as
We
well,
absolutely love her. So hi to the East Coast. Shout out. Woo, woo.
Wish we were there.
I know. We love you.
Even though
you.
It's like 90 degrees here.
I know. It's actually really nice
We're
today.
literally sweating.
Well, it's so funny, too, because it started out being nice and kind of fall-y and was like cool and crisp
for like
and
2 days,
and then it came back with heat.
The heat is on in Saigon.
I just like LA is so freaking bipolar when it comes to its weather. It just will not make up its mind if it wants to be hot, or if it wants to be cold, if it wants to be rainy, if it wants to be sunshine. We don't know.
It's kind of like us.
it's a lot like
we
this.
just like don't know what we want to be.
LA is the biggest bowl of cereal full of fruits, nuts, and flakes. Welcome. But so I'd really like to turn it over to you, Eric, and do your whole breaking news segment.
So for those of you who haven't seen, this is the camera that I should be looking in. This guy right here.
One.
Okay, cool. So it's a very cool setup here at 9000 Sunset. But and I'm not used to not wearing headphones. But if you don't watch my show every week, what I try to do is take some of the focus off of the nasty political world and some of the things that go on every single day, and focus more on some of the lighter things. So I have a special crossover breaking news segment for you, taking place around all over the world. So yeah, here we are. So. Everything that we talk about is real. I may change some of the names just in case, but in English, 29-year-old, and that is not an old age, by the way. No. I am 29.
We're both 29.
I love that I had to have the English 29. It doesn't matter, by the way. A 29-year-old lost his vision the morning after enjoying a particularly powerful climax. Slightly dismayed by the negative impact to what is normally supposed to be an enjoyable occasion, the man went to the hospital to see whether he might one day set his two eyes back on his lover. Thankfully, the patient soon learned that his vision would be completely restored within the next 24 hours, but it was probably an excitingly frightening 24 hours without vision.
Sorry,
So studies show, and doctors and science and everything say that if you have a premature ejaculation problem, or if you also have a problem ejaculating, so two of the opposite sides of the spectrum, it can build up some sort of manigma, I don't know, it's thing in you that can take away your vision after a powerful performance.
Is it like something in your brain? Did they say that if it was something like that?
I didn't read that much of it. I just read that studies show that if you premature ejaculate, or if you can't ejaculate, then you could be at a greater risk of losing your vision.
This sounds like one of those horror stories you hear about, where like if you jerk off or you do anything like that, you'll grow hair on your hands or some weird crap like that.
I've never heard that.
Like your palms will grow hair from that. It's some weird like urban legend that parents would tell their kids so they would not be ugly boys and masturbate. It's religious families would do that.
I didn't know that.
It's this joke. It's never true. It's such bullshit. It's not true at all. But it's this myth that people would put out there, and a lot of like cartoons or funny things always make fun about it. And it's just it sounds exactly like that.
There we go. That's where we're getting our news source from.
You ejaculate, you go blind.
Speaking of more horror stories, a stray cat has been identified as the prime suspect in an attempted murder of an elderly woman found bleeding profusely in her home. Now, it's never funny to talk about someone who's getting injured. Enoch is incredibly messed up for laughing right now. By the way, he's the only person that literally laughs like this at my articles. This is horrible. But Mayaku Matsumoto, I didn't change that name, who is 82, was found by her daughter with about 20 cuts to her face at her home in southern Japan. Police launched an attempted murder investigation after seeing her wounds. Some of them were more severe than the others. And her daughter told the local police department that when we found her, blood covered everywhere, everything was covered above her chin, her face was soaked in blood, and she didn't know what happened. Investigators found no sign of forced entry into the house, but suspected the woman's wounds had been caused by a cat, and then the police found traces of blood on the cat. So the blood is now being tested in labs. And
you know what they do to kitties after they catch them at that? They put them in stew.
Listen, this is in Japan.
In Japan.
This is what they said. People have said this about cats for years. They're way more independent than dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll take you apart if you're just, like...
Oh, no, yeah. If they hate you, they'll let you know it.
Yeah, and, if you die in your apartment and you have a cat, that cat will eat you. A dog won't eat you.
I've heard that, if you had, ravenous dogs, they will.
Parker
Parker
will eat me.
Yeah, that's what Doug's last dog was a Weimaraner and ate literally everything. And Doug says, if you ever want to clean up the body after you kill me, leave me in the room with Lou and he'll just eat me.
There you go. So Doug would bring tricks home and the dog would eat them. He'd feed them to the dog. It was like a modern day Little Shop of Horrors.
I like it.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Mincemeat pies for the puppy.
Keeping this train moving with, see what I did there, with the animals, a Florida couple. And I'm not surprised because it's Florida, and I love making fun of Florida.
Oh, you have the best Florida stories I love of.
Right, so Tallahassee, Florida, which is a whole nother level of trash, and where it's a land full of Waffle Houses and fried chicken everywhere.
Right.
Say that they discovered a dead frog floating in one of their water glasses earlier this week when they sat down for a meal at said Waffle House. Claire Sheets says her husband sipped some ice water before he noticed the frog floating in the cup, and they immediately filmed a video that I will not show because it's just disgusting, showing the frog in the glass before pouring it out onto the table and calling over the waitress. The employee isn't seen in the video, but her reaction was a simple, "What the hell?" And it can definitely be heard in the video. So what do? You're at your local Waffle House, because it's all you have to do on a Saturday or Sunday in Tallahassee, Florida, and you are greeted by a dead floating frog in your room temperature water.
Okay, well, first of all, if someone's pouring your water in your glass, you're going to see something that is not clear.
I think it was the waitress came over and put 2 waters down right on the table. That was it.
Unless the cups are black ice, different color.
They weren't.
It's clear. How do you not see? I see a fly in my water anytime there's a fly in my water, and a gnat. I'm going to see a freaking frog.
I usually just drink the water anyway, even if there is a fly in it. I'm too lazy to take it out.
It's
extra protein.
Extra protein. But still,
don't even say, if you're watching at home that you haven't drank a fly before or a gnat. Come on, it's no big deal.
After you try to fish it out and you give up because it never gets around there.
And then, think about how nasty your nails are and your fingers are, and you're putting your fucking finger in. Ooh, I can't curse here.
Yes, you can. You say fuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fuck, fuddy, fuck,
that was
fuck,
a legit reaction.
He's used to iHeartRadio where they ban you from saying anything.
They do. We won't be able to stream this one on there. But police in Massachusetts, I really tried to cover everything here, have arrested 2 men they say have ran a prostitution ring out of an apartment in a senior living home. Okay.
Well, wait. Finish the rest of it. I got something
Pittsfield police say 65-year-old Joseph Van Wert and 45-year-old Randy Labach have been held without bail pending a dangerous hearing scheduled for November 29th. Authorities say Labach recruited drug addicts from Pittsfield, took photos of them, and posted ads on adult websites. Police say he scheduled and drove them to and from meetings with men, kept most of the proceeds, and paid the women in drugs. He used his apartment at a senior living facility as a place to conduct all the prostitution and allegedly threatened to turn the women in if they stopped working for him, and it could not immediately be determined if they have lawyers.
Okay, so senior assisted living places are dens of...
That's where it goes down.
Like, I mean, those old people get it on more than I think they've gone on in their entire lives.
Right.
I mean, it is disgusting to see her like, oh, I was with this one. I'm like, literally, you guys are bigger sluts than every gay boy in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yes, for serious.
Oh, it's so bad. So this does not surprise me in the least.
Why are you doing that at 65 years old? It's like, you don't have a real job by now? It's time to move on.
They've got AARP and they've got financial aid from the Social Security, and they're just trying to boost that little income.
If I had your fan right now, I'd go, whoop. So let's end this on a good note, though. And some of you know, so I work with a dog rescue that's very up and coming,
yes,
and, you know, kind of on its feet and up there. It's called Republic Rescue, and there is a animal shelter that is in Atlanta and in Los Angeles. It's called Lifeline Animal Protection, and this year what they are doing is they are rehoming 25 dogs from both locations for a week, so that they can spend Thanksgiving with a family.
Aww.
How nice is that?
That's so cute. Well, so it gives them a week to experience that.
So they're choosing 25 different dogs that have been in the shelter the longest.
Got it.
Who adore people, and they're, you know, volunteers are picking them up and traveling to all different homes, dropping them off, and the point of it is to hope for a foster fail, and that the people actually wind up keeping the dogs.
Aww.
But, yeah, they're getting like a mini vacation. I applaud people
That's
like that.
really cute.
Yeah,
well,
love
that's
that.
awesome. Well, yeah, it's really great because, I mean, obviously it's such a big issue, and not just, I mean, all over the country, but also here in California, it's also a really big issue of people having their dogs and stuff getting either lost or stolen, and then they go into the pound and not knowing if you're wanting to get another one. And
yeah,
and also it's so weird with like holidays. I find out there's always big surges of lost or pets being turned into the pound over the holidays, which is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's like people get busy and
they don't want to deal with it,
and they don't want to deal with their pets, so they turn it in.
Yeah,
you know, it's
exactly.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
It's like it's a stat. You know, with holiday times. Yeah. I'm not sure why.
I don't know what it is. I know there's a few that are really big. Like 4th of July is really big. Yeah. Thanksgiving and Christmas area, and so is New Year's. Those are kind of like the 4 big ones out of the year.
If you can't do it, don't have a pet.
Seriously, if you don't want to be responsible, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So it's great. I love his stories. If you ever come watch his show,
yes, please.
It is freaking hilarious, the stuff he gets, and I am like morbidly amused by all of it. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Do your reading. You know, it's important to read. All forms of reading.
Exactly.
You know,
and always check out these things because you might need to read it from several sources to find out what's really true and what's like publicized as like the truth. Yeah. Because there are a lot, and he does a lot of research.
I do a lot of research. Yeah. We try to really make sure that everything that I'm citing is a legit article. Yeah. So as long as something is coming up on more than one news outlet website, for me it's a go.
Yeah.
You know,
no, it's really good. So we're going to switch over just real quick to some different things that happened last night. Oh. So we went for Gaylifela.com with one of the people we're working with, Brad Sinasak. And some of the people he's representing for Echo V, Ricky Rebel, who we had on here, and also Pretty Boy Roke, who's a new, well, not new, but he's an artist that's been around the LA scene for a while. Hey. I think for the last 3 years or something like that, and he was on the East Coast before that. But we went to the Trixie and Katya show premiere for Viceland, which was actually a lot of fun. Did not realize it was going to be this big to do. Yeah. We thought it was just a simple, like, oh, go to World of Wonder, have a few drinks, like meet and greet, schmooze. Ended up them doing this whole hour-long production between the two of them of Katya reading really weird poetry that was freaking hilarious. Trixie just
Did she write it?
She wrote it.
She wrote it all, yeah.
Yeah, and she was doing this weird voice of like, she says in the, because I recorded the entire thing, so if you want to watch the entire thing, it's actually on Gaylifela.
Oh, cool, go watch
Facebook page and mine, and so in the Empress of WeHo. But it's just like, we're going to put it on our YouTube, but it's so bizarre, it's so funny, but it's great because you're sitting there, we're like, she's serious. She's 100%
committed, huh?
She's 100% committed and serious to this. It was great and so freaking funny. But yeah, it's all on the Gaylifela social media. Empress of WeHo social media, and then we'll put it online so that way you can see it as well for YouTube. And then also...
And tune in, by the way. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's well, I just saw it. It just premiered last week, so it was the first episode.
Did you see the first episode?
I saw the first episode. Okay. It's really good. They talk about hooking up and like the different aspects of online dating, Grindr, and all this different stuff with that.
I don't know anything about that.
Meeting first face to face versus meeting online, like different stuff like that. And it's all about like the whole relationship aspect in our community nowadays. So it's actually really interesting. It's not too different from but it's a little bit more produced. It looks more like it's a production.
Is it a live studio audience?
No. It's something like this. It's very similar to something like this. They have a lot of green screen. They do a lot of really crazy shit as well, like they usually do, but it's more like an actual production. No tea, no shade to World of Wonder because they did an amazing job for their show, but it's a lot more like
that was all tea and all shade.
No, because it was really good. Their editors did an amazing job. It's just this one looks like it's an actual TV program.
Right.
So that's the only thing.
Because it is.
Yeah. It is, and it's it's really well done. And if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube as well. If you want to go see it on YouTube as well as Viceland, but really funny show. And
the first episode's on YouTube as well.
That's how I'll watch it. Yeah, it's great. It's really good. It's super funny. And so another thing that came up that it's kind of funny, but it's kind of not funny, but it's So on Gaylifela,
what is it?
Gaylifela, we have a gentleman named Ben Koala who's done some stuff for us for interviews. He's a comedian.
He's hot.
He's cute.
He's hot.
He's cute. I love you, Ben, but he's cute. And so he went out to the Puppy Pride Festival this last couple weeks ago.
You have to tell people what Puppy Pride is. Like, no one knows what that is.
Okay, so preface the preface. So Puppy Pride...
Hold on, I'll pull up a picture while you're talking about it.
So Puppy Pride is where you... it's kind of like almost like a competition in a way, but it's a pride festival for people that are into puppy fetish, leather, like kind of a little bit of the leather community. It's all of them competing or celebrating their appreciation of pups and their masters. And I don't understand the entirety of it. You can always go
here.
Yeah, you can kind of find out what they have on there with that stuff. But basically, the kind of the competition is they go. They dress up as the pups, and sometimes it has masters, sometimes it's just the pups, and then they kind of do a little bit of like not a routine, like a dance routine, but it's more of like this. They're asked to do commands, and how well do they do those commands as in relation to being a pup? How well do they do the orders and the commands and all that stuff? I know it's for someone who's not into it. It is a little.
You're just like so good at describing it, and I'm like, Enoch, like, what have you been doing?
I read again. I went online and I read about it.
Dog.
Right. No, but it's one of those things that I always forget. Doug and I are both. We're always fascinated by things that are just like different and out there and like not necessarily weird, but just so out of the box on it because it's a whole culture about it that.
And they fully believe in everything.
When they're in character, they are committed, and it's like these people are like some of them are die-hard committed during when they're in their performances as the pup, and so with all that, that's what Pup Pride is about. There's a little bit more into it, but you can look up like research on your own, kind of the details, because there's a lot that goes into it.
It's not all sexual either. It's like
it's more about the aspect of doing it,
the orders and the commands.
Yeah, it's more about just the actual becoming the pup in a I don't know, it's like actually becoming a dog, but it's that ideal of as much as you can Embodying, that's what it was. Embodying the...
Embolizing, though. That's a good word, too.
Enoch's random made-up word of the day. Embolizing. Read it now on EnochDictionary.com.
Ooh, embolizing. I feel like I should be making a spell.
Oh, my God, right. I went to Hogwarts for 3 months. Yeah. They kicked me out for using wands inappropriately.
Oh, my.
But, so what Ben did, he went to go and do, a video interview with all these people and kind of cover it, and he's a very crass, very sarcastic, very just like off the cuff kind of guy.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't mind his type of style because
me either.
When he did our event for Best of West Hollywood, and he made fun of people and was like being a smart ass to people there, and everyone kind of they're like, you're funny.
He's
whatever.
Not a red carpet interview host. No. He's a comedian with a microphone.
Exactly.
Asking people funny questions.
Yeah, he's a smart ass with a microphone asking people questions.
And he's very funny.
I think he's hilarious. Yeah. And so, it came off very inappropriate to the pup community, and they did not appreciate what he said because they felt he was being too disrespectful, too mean, and too over the top with what he was saying and what he was saying about the contestants and the judges and the people at the pup pride. And I could see how they could see it was being like too much. And so to clear everything up, for if you guys want to see both sides of the situation on gaylifela.com, there are 2 articles right now, one from Ben and then one from a gentleman from the pup pride community, about why Ben feels he was justified in what he said, and then why the pup community feels that they were actually hurt by the video and everything that went on with that. So you can kind of read both opinions on that and make your final judgments based on what you see there. I'm kind of a little torn because I can see it's a community that does get a lot of backlash because there are people that don't understand it and they make fun of it. But on the same side, you kind of are used to taking that kind of criticism, probably. It's probably a touchy thing because while you may be used to taking criticism day after day after day, if you are in a safe space, and that's where I see that, like you're given one night a year to have this pride event or whatever, you know, and maybe they just didn't need to feel spoken down to or made fun of, or and I see both sides. You're in a vulgar state too when you're. Well, and no, I think you're 100% right on that. It's you're 100% right on that. It's the aspect of you feel like this is your time for your community to celebrate what you're doing for anyone's pride, whether it's gay pride, transgender pride, pup pride, all of it. Whether it's any pride of that, I think you're 100% right on that. It's they're there, they're vulnerable because they're there doing what they do for the people that understand what they're doing, and I can see how they were offended by what Ben said, but also I see how Ben was, he's making a joke, and this is, if you see any of his videos, he is like that to everyone. And so to me, knowing Ben, I see the other side because I know Ben is not a malicious person. Right. But I can see them, for the first time seeing that video as it came out, them being like, hey, dude, that was too far. A little too far. And so I see both sides. Have I made a position on it? Not really, because, again, I see valid points from both. Yes. So, but I think it's go read the stories and the op-eds from the 2 individuals online, see your opinion on it from that point of view, and if you'd like to comment, there's the comment section at the bottom, and you can put in your voice to those opinions. And please comment. Yeah, we like comments. We do. We like to hear your feedback and let us know what you think. And be nice, don't be mean as well, and be respectful to either individuals. You can be upset, but do not be rude or vulgar either. So, but yeah, go on and put your opinions and let us know what you think. So we're going to get to the fun part of the episodes where we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I can't believe it is already freaking Thanksgiving. And it's like this year. I feel like it was just Pride. Seriously, it's like June was just yesterday, and now it's all of a sudden almost the end of the year, and it's crazy. And so I'd like to share with you a fun few little facts. Okay, share with me some maybe facts. You might not know about Thanksgiving. I'm naked. You're always naked, girl. Please. If the tits aren't out, the boy ain't happy. He's got to show chest. Am I still on this right now? Is it still on the computer or no? No, he switches between them. Fab. So first thing, what I didn't know this, but this is kind of a little gross, but a little funny. Okay. So Thanksgiving, fun fact, is the busiest day for plumbers. And the reason being, according to Roto-Rooter, meal prep and cleanup can clog drains and garbage disposals. Guests requiring additional clothes, washing, showers, toilet flushes puts a strain on a household's plumbing. And so therefore, it could be a really busy day for plumbers when you have so many people in one house, all utilizing the plumbing facilities at once. Plumbers need Thanksgiving too. Yeah, seriously. They have families. They have lives. I don't understand. That's not fair. Give them a break. Cut the shit out. Plumbers have to work on... Some of them do. Some of them emergency. Some have emergency calls. There's some people on emergency standby kind of thing. I'd be like, bitch, that's going to be a down payment of $500 directly made to me. I can bet it's expensive. And then whatever else. It experiences a 21% increase in calls over the 4-day weekend than any other Thursday or Saturday period of the year. So weird. Almost 20% increase in calls. That's insane. For those 4 days. So it's not just Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving through Sunday. So, yeah, it's nuts. They say tonight is the busiest night of the year. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if you saw, but I think it was NBC5 or KTLA put up a live streaming of the 405 last night. like
I did see
mass
gridlock,
exodus of everyone leaving for the holidays. It was nuts, and I was still looking at some of my phone. I'm like, oh my god, it's like everyone leaving now, and that's why, because it's going to be a freaking nightmare. Another fun fact for Thanksgiving: did you know Big Bird is a turkey? And for that, because, mind blown. Well, not actually a turkey per se, but Big Bird's suit on Sesame Street consists of turkey feathers that have been dyed yellow. And so the American Plume and Fancy Feather Company is the one that's responsible for making the suit. And it's like one of their toughest customers with all of it, because it's so precise on how they have to do all the layering with everything. But it's all entirely, it's all been
so
made
it's
of
real
feathers. It's
turkey
real
feathers.
turkey feathers, yeah. And they've been dyed yellow, obviously, to match everything. But his entire, for the feather part of his entire outfit is all turkey feathers.
And those of you who don't know Sesame Street watching, stop watching. Thank you. Not old enough to know what Sesame Street.
All your parents,
see you later.
That's the V-chip lock.
We don't need you here.
Yeah, right.
We really don't.
So, and then this is something you know really well about the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade.
Love the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. Try saying that 4 times fast. Macy's Day, that's a lot of everything.
I can't fit that much
I used to go to, you can fit plenty in your mouth.
Not that.
I used to go to the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, that.
Every year when I was younger with my family, I told you the story.
Yeah.
My dad had a really close friend, Asher, who had an apartment like right on the street that the whole thing happened, and we would always like shack up there for the day and go. And it's just as exciting as it is in person, as you would think it is. It's cool to watch on TV,
huge.
but in person you actually get to see how many little people it takes to hold Big Bird.
Right, right. No, exactly.
So,
and that's the thing. And then it's so funny because in the very beginning of when they did the parade, there were actually no balloons.
Right, it was just
actual parade. It was like they had the floats and stuff, obviously, and that stuff, but they never had balloons until later on. They actually pulled in the whole idea of having balloons from it was someone that made this little caricature of people holding balloons during the parade, and it inspired them to actually do balloons.
It takes them like 10 to 11 hours to like get all of them inflated. So if you camp out the night before, you can like see them all like during the nighttime
as they're blowing
them up, and it's the coolest thing ever.
I can imagine.
And you can just like see like the Spider-Man coming to all of that. Yeah, it's just as cool as you would think.
Oh, we want to watch Spider-Man grow.
It's not fun to travel to Manhattan for Thanksgiving Day Parade, but it is definitely worth it to do it. It's been a minute since I've been.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh, that must be crazy. I don't know if a lot of people know this either, but you should if you actually paid attention to American history in high school or elementary. But no one is actually sure if in the very first Thanksgiving with the Indians and the colonialists that they actually had turkey as part of that feast, because it's kind of what everything's based on from that. And
they probably just took what they could get. I mean, like, it was like, they probably...
It's more like pheasant or chicken or
whatever.
Whatever the pig was there, the donkey that was left over, I don't know. But yeah, it's like actually turkey wasn't introduced until later on, and it wasn't really actually known that they had it as part of the original feast.
That's weird.
But it's so funny because it's
probably
such a big.
Probably not.
I wouldn't think not. But I mean, the first Thanksgiving, everyone was like, "That's what we refer to as like the big thing," and everyone puts it in the pictures and stuff. But actuality, we have no idea.
No one really knows about Thanksgiving.
And
it's like that holiday that's in between Halloween and Christmas.
It kind of is. It's like as soon as Halloween hits and it's done, they immediately start producing Christmas stuff, and it's like they skip over Thanksgiving entirely.
They've had Christmas music on now for 5 weeks.
Oh, I hate it.
Like in like your local Targets, Targets.
I am the person, if I see your lights go on up for your Christmas lights after Halloween,
you're not happy.
I want to set your house on fire.
You are not happy with it.
Because I want to go in my orders of my holidays as they are appropriate. Because I love Thanksgiving because I get to stuff my face. Legitimately, without like having to be like, oh no, I'm only supposed to eat a little bit.
No, tomorrow is like a full marathon day for you.
It is marathon day of food, leftovers, and
drinking.
Lots of drinking too. Which is great. Another fun fact: Benjamin Franklin back in the day originally wanted to have America's national bird be a turkey instead of the bald eagle.
But turkeys can't even fly.
They can. They just can't, like, actually fly. They can get really high up in trees and fly up into trees, but that's about it.
Well, I covered this article on my show, Listen, Sweetie, and it was about the turkey trot, which is disgusting. But it's where they, like, throw turkeys out of a plane.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's
literally.
It. That's
they just throw turkeys out of a plane. And when I researched it, the whole science behind it was how they really can't fly. I'm sure they can get up, but they
can. I mean,
they can't, like, go.
No, they can't, like, actually fly and, like, go, like, and they just really, like, get enough to get their body up there. But actually, a lot of people don't realize this. Wild turkeys do not weigh as much as domesticated turkeys because they are bred, obviously, to be bigger. They're bred to be bigger.
I watched a video today about a guy who has a pet turkey, and he kept hugging it. And the video was titled, like, Turkey That Loves Hugs.
Oh,
I don't know how I find myself, like, in these, like, K-hole of animal videos, but I am.
And I'm trying to find the one that had this stuff about how much turkey we eat, because it's kind of daunting.
Well, they say that, like, they say that Americans go through, like, 40 to 47 million turkeys every Thanksgiving.
Each Thanksgiving.
That's insane.
And you know, the state that consumes the most is California. California consumes the most turkeys out of that 46 million.
I wouldn't think that.
I would. I mean, we're next to Texas. We're one of the biggest states around here. Yeah.
I would for how many vegetarians and vegans that are in specifically LA?
5.
Like I look.
Wait. Let's actually come at how many vegetarians and vegans. Legitimately vegetarians and vegans are in here, because I have seen way too many people.
Sound engineer just said 3. So you know, 3. From behind the camera, you put up a 3.
But yeah, it's really. I mean, I'm not surprised a little bit because of how big of a state we are.
Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Ooh.
No, because they don't make Thanksgiving movies because nobody cares because it's the holiday in between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving's a brush over in there.
So I researched, and they said the best worst Thanksgiving movies of all time. The first best movie was Home for the Holidays. Okay. All I know is that it was directed by Jodie Foster. Yeah. Addams Family Values, which is, you know, the Addams Family.
Oh, that was Addams Family. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I remember it now when you said Addams Family, but it took me a second to remember Addams Family. I was thinking with Adam Stanley for a second.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which I never saw.
I never either.
And then they said the worst movies were Son-in-Law, which I saw, and that wasn't good. And then Free Birds, which was that animated, like, turkey Thanksgiving movie. That was...
Oh, yeah, where they, like, go into, like, the past and actually, like, go to the first Thanksgiving ever with a time machine. Yeah, I remember that.
They named that the worst Thanksgiving
It was actually really bad. I thought it'd be really cute, and it's crap.
Right, yeah, well, that's what they said.
Do you have any, like, funky family traditions your family does, or anything, like, just fun?
So it's like I haven't been back home for Thanksgiving in... I don't even know how many years since I've been to LA.
Okay.
But I just remember it always being a lot of food. You know, like I have a huge family. I have tons of cousins.
Yeah.
And it would just always be a gathering of the cousins. But Christmas is taken so much more seriously in my family that Thanksgiving was always kind of like whoever could make it. You know? But my family, we would just like to have a good time. We used to blast Frank Sinatra and crazy music from the downstairs stereo and dance on the second floor. You know, I remember, like, having dance parties. I remember, like, sneaking outside to smoke weed with my cousins, you know, like, and our parents, you know, turning the other direction. And no, not really. You know, I mean, that was kind of it. I mean, it was always like anything that would just happen from within the confines of my grandma's house. We used to play, me and my cousins, hide and seek in the basement of my grandma's house.
Okay.
And it was just like this one room. Now it's my cousin's DJ studio, which is kind of cool. But I always remember hiding behind the steps. Like, that was like the best place to hide.
Place to hide.
Like, and we would do that, and then we would hide in the closet. And we would always be afraid that there was like a ghost in the closet with us, but just like silly shit like
See, that's so funny you say that, because mine was actually the reverse, because Thanksgiving was the big one where everyone came together, because Christmas they'd all split off and do their own things with their own different other parts of the family. Because my mom's dad has the biggest side of the family, because he has 5 siblings as well. And so my dad only has his uncle or his brother. And so it was actually my mom's side was the bigger one that had the aunts, the uncles, the cousins. And then, so we would all do it for Thanksgiving, so we'd all have a family time to come together. And then Christmas, everyone would break off to their own separate families, and then do the intimate things with those immediate parts of their families.
How fabulous.
And so, yeah, so that's how ours was. And it would be this huge thing, like, again, like you said, tons of food, everyone hanging out. And then afterwards, we would always play this game called Spades, which is a card game where you go around and you play, like, it's this whole thing. It's, like, hard to explain, but it's like you go around playing it.
I don't know nothing about sports.
Not sports, right?
I don't know nothing about sports.
But it's a lot of fun. Like, we actually had a really great time. It was the only time we would actually get together and do something all with, like, because I would never see these people unless it was, like, during special occasions, which was one of them. So it was kind of weird to see them sometimes, and, like, my cousins would be so much older by the time they get up.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
We're all coming together and, like, having a good time at my place with Eric.
Oh, yeah. I'm cooking some vegan dishes for you guys, actually. They're not going to eat any of it, but I am.
I'm eating all meat.
We're bringing all the dogs, too. Yeah, the 9 dogs in the house.
It's going to be a puppy palace.
Are there going to be children? Are there children?
No. Oh. The youngest person there is going to be my sister-in-law's son, who's, like, 25, 24.
Oh, yeah, Doug's sister's coming.
Yeah.
Fab.
So it's like there's the immediate family, and then like a few of us that are just going to be hanging out that are friends. So it's kind of like a mix of friends and family Thanksgiving.
Are you going to be deep frying a turkey?
Hell no.
So I pulled up a video.
You got to see this before we end everything. You got to check this out.
A family trying to deep fry a turkey. Where'd it go? Oh. Hold on.
I was on that other one, and then it was like one back or two back.
My search right now is gay pup leather, because I just tried to get the pup pictures. Okay, here we go. Let's do. Okay, we want to gone wrong. Yeah. Okay, look. So this is what happens. Let me turn to this. When you add. Okay, 4, 3. 2, 1. So they say if you're going to deep fry a turkey that you're supposed to thaw it in a fridge for 24 hours before.
Oh my God, these people are stupid.
What happens? Do the wrong thing.
Oh. Jesus Christ. And that's the reason why, because they stick it in and the grease all flames out and the fire catches on the grease and it just explodes in the fireball.
Yeah, you said stick it in.
Jeez.
So guys, don't try this at home.
Do not try this ever.
If you're gonna spend the money on a turkey and do Thanksgiving,
spend the 8 hours it takes to cook it, or 6 hours, like whichever. Do not be these kind of crazy people and do this shit, because, I mean, literally you will burn your house down.
Or just buy it cooked.
Or buy it cooked. Like, yeah, go to your local...
Pay someone to do it for you. That's what I would be doing if I was eating turkey.
Sometimes of these grocery stores have entire meals prepared with the turkey and everything, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Eric, what are you thankful for this year for Thanksgiving?
Well, I'm always thankful for my family, even though they're 3,000 miles away. I'm thankful for my 2 dogs that I do not deserve. You know, we don't deserve dogs at all. They're too good for us. And I'm thankful for my friends and the opportunities that 2018 has to bring.
I agree.
As well, specifically Gaylifela, actually. Yeah, little plug. What are you thankful for?
I'm really thankful again for my immediate family right here in LA, all the friends that we've made through here in West Hollywood. I absolutely adore our community here, not just West Hollywood, but LA, downtown, and this whole greater Los Angeles area. I have found home in Southern California, and I would never want to be anywhere else. I absolutely love it, so I'm always so thankful for being here with fun friends and family, and then also for the exciting things that 2018 is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be
coming up.
A full year.
It's going to be a really full year, but we're excited to take you guys along on that journey as well. And you can always check us out at gaylifela.com. Always check us out on our social media platforms for Listen Sweetie.
Yeah, we're trying to build our Instagrams up. Almost at 5,000.
There. Kicking ass on it.
Let's go.
So yeah, you guys can always check us out on that. You can see the information on our lower thirds on the screen below because we've had those go through the rest of the show. And then if you have any other questions, reach out to us online and we'd be more than happy to talk to you or on gaylifela.com. So from all of us here, hope you guys have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving with your friends, your family, and all your loved ones. And from the two of us, listen, sweetie.
Do you want to make out?
No. I know where your mouth's been. Bye, guys. We love you. Bye.